TDM in Battlefield 3. The reigning king always used to be Noshar Canals. It was the one place that you went if you wanted to whore out points and you wanted to be grinding your way to your next achievement. But now I can safely say there are some more options that may open your eyes to a different way of playing TDM, but still being able to get quite a lot of points while doing it. With the recent introduction of Endgame, the TDM maps in that expansion pack are by far the best that have been introduced since the vanilla maps for Battlefield 3 that came out around 18 months ago. So it's taken them 18 months to release some fully great TDM maps for this game. But I have to say the pick of the bunch has got to be Nebandan Flats. However, if you do like crates, then I have to say that Sabalan Pipeline is also a good choice for you. Now this gameplay is going to show you a bit of Nebandan Flats with some rooftop shooting and stuff like that. That's one way to play the TDM in this expansion. And in the other half I'm going to talk a little bit about Sabalan Pipeline as well. Now, as I mentioned just a little bit before, Noshar Canals was always your one-stop shop if you wanted to go get some points, the way to rank up through the kernel levels, unlock assignments, get new guns, all that kind of lovely stuff. But also, perhaps with the Carg Island thrown in there as well, that had quite a lot of crate action as well. But when I did my map review for Nebandan Flats, I mentioned that TDM was a great way to get points out of this game mode and be able to expand as well. And it is kind of like built upon Noshar Canals because there is a crate aspect to this map as well. After playing some more TDM, I noticed that one of my quotes in my Nebandan Flats map review was actually wrong. I said a lot of the sort of focus area was actually inside the warehouse where all the crates actually were. But having played this game now on PC, played this game mode a little bit more, I can actually say that around the outsides of the map are more heavily contested. And it becomes a massive circle jerk. Literally, you can go round and round, round and round, round and round that bloody warehouse. If you're on a 1,000 ticket server, this is great because it's a constant change of scenery. You're always moving around, different alleyways, different zones, different engagement lengths, all that different kind of stuff. Of course, you can use sniper rifles for the longer sides of the warehouse. You can also use assault rifles to work your way through the warehouse and out the other side to flank behind the enemy and take them all out. This map has endless possibilities for you to sort of outmaneuver the enemy and to sort of get the upper hand in the map. Now, I'm not particularly proud of these next few shots, but you will see me doing some raining C4. Now, this is another great map for that, because you can use the top of the warehouse, which you can actually spawn on top of too. If one of your squad mates has got a spawn beacon down, that you can easily spawn onto the top of that building. But also there are a couple of ladders on the outside of the building as well, so you can work your way up to the roof. But yeah, C4 sort of raining C4 is actually a great way to sort of clear out objectives or clear out sort of clusters of enemies so that your team can then move further around the map. If you use the top of the roof and the sides of the buildings, you can go up to the edge of the roof, drop a couple of C4 where you know there are enemies down there, just detonate it. You'll get about maybe 5-6 kills, something like that. Doesn't sound like a lot, but in TDM, if you're using C4, you can get quite a lot of kills if you're in a 64-man server. Yeah, but that pretty much clears the way for your team to then move around and then take out some more enemies that may be around that corner. One thing I would point out, though, I did mention 64-man servers. Not a great idea in these TDM maps. They're not as big as perhaps Noshar Canals is. Noshar Canals is one of the bigger TDM maps, whereas Nebandan Flats is pretty much warehouse about 12 feet on either side of that, and that's your game area. There is virtually no space to maneuver around here. 64-man servers can get pretty hectic. I suggest maybe 48, perhaps 32. 32 feels a little bit sparse for me, so I'd suggest 48-man servers. Obviously, if you can find one, it's a bit of an irregular number, but 64-man can be quite fun, but after a while you do get a little bit tired of it. Now onto the second map, we have Sabalan Pipeline. Now this one is much more reminiscent of Noshar Canals. You've got the outside crate area. A lot of people use that, but again, it's something that I never used for Noshar Canals. I didn't tend to use the crates as much. I didn't find it nice being in that hectic situation. I liked not taking my time, but being in control of the situation more, as if I was out on the edges of the map. it's sparsely populated, there's not as many people there, and it was easier for me to get kills that way rather than going in with a shotgun and blasting people in the face. I didn't find it as comfortable that way because I knew that there could be somebody right behind me and I didn't even know about it. On the edge of the map though, you have that advantage, sort of a little bit of extra space to manoeuvre around in. And that's the same for me in Sabalan Pipeline. I like using the building most of all and skirting around the edges behind the building and using the sort of long flanking routes down the sides of the map as opposed to using that crate area. And something that I really do like using here is using like a bolt action sniper rifle with a low powered scope, perhaps an ACOG or even a holographic or a Cobra sight. You can go on some insane little stealth missions if you want to put a suppressor on there, but I find that the way that I don't like the way it sounds with the suppressor. I just think it sounds a bit weak. I like the way that the SV98 sort of with the straight pull bolt, it flicks it back, you made that nice sound and you move on to your next kill. But obviously you have to be quite accurate with your bolt action sniper. So I also find taking perhaps a heavy machine gun like the M240B, or even perhaps the AEK. I'm not too sure about the AEK. Its rate of fire isn't great for this map. Something with a sort of a lower rate of fire is better because there are so many lines of sight that you need to keep your eye on at all times. It's better to have a sort of low rate of fire weapon. This way you're less likely to run out of bullets in a clip before you have to reload. Again, you can do raining C4 on this map. It is a little bit harder because you've got the building at one end and the crates at the other, and it's harder to spot people actually in the map. But I find if people are sitting in the long routes down the side, chuck a bit of C4 down there, you're easily going to get a couple of kills. That way you clear out the area, your team can move up and then come up behind the enemy and take some more out. But all in all, I really enjoy playing TDM on these maps. It's a great sort of mix between what Noshar Canals actually is and perhaps some more tactical sides of things where you've actually got buildings that you can use and sort of make invisible flanking routes round behind enemies without them noticing where you actually are. It's got a little bit more structure than what Noshar Canals has. Noshar Canals is everyone just runs straight for those crates, whereas with Nebandan Flats you've got all the way around the outside of the warehouse that you can work your way around. And with Sabalan Pipeline, that big building at one end of the map really does help focus some of the gunfights, and it keeps the enemy at bay to a certain extent. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like. I really hope you did enjoy it. I've got an episode of War Thunder coming up again sometime this week. I'm actually quite busy in real life at the moment, so perhaps cutting back on videos will be happening. I'm not entirely sure yet. But my name is Westy. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.